Dear students, hope you are doing well. Today I thought to do a very short video for CA final, both old as well as the new syllabus, to solve a integrated case study question. I hope you are aware. From May 2020 exam onwards, you are introduced to a new type of questions which are called as the integrated case study. Already from the May 2019 exams, we were having MCQ questions. MCQ questions would come for 1 mark or even it would come for 2 marks. Now, from May 2020, ICA has introduced integrated case study. What is that? It will be a big passage, or rather you say a case study, followed by 5 MCQs. For one case study question, you will have 5 sets of MCQ. Each MCQ will be for 1 mark. So 5 MCQs, 1 mark each. So that will be 5 marks for one particular integrated case study. Unfortunately, May 2020 attempt did not happen. So the opening ceremony of integrated case study will be happening in November 2020 exam. So I thought to discuss one sample question of such type. This particular question I have taken from the RTP for the November 20. Okay. So, shall we go on to do the question? So, while discussing the question, I'll tell you how to approach the integrated case study. Fine? So, reading on to the question. Y&S Associates, a firm of chartered accountants having CAY, CAS as the partners, is based at Mumbai. Y&S and Associates get their website developed as www.ysassociates.com from KPY Limited. Okay, so something related to website. When we hear the website, you will be remembering the ethics clause. Which clause? Website. It is clause 6. Part 1 of first schedule. Okay. The color of their website was very bright and attractive to run on a push technology. So the website was very bright and attractive and they run on a push technology. The names of the partners of the firm, major clients, were also displayed on the website without any disclosure obligation from any regulator. Okay, now I will pause for a second here. See, while you read this itself, website, we have linked with clause 6, part 1, first schedule. Moreover, the website is having bright colors. Is that allowed? Answer is yes. Any color, any fonts are allowed. But it is working on which technology? Push. Is it allowed? No. It should work only on which mode? Correct? It should be on pull mode or pull technology. Push is not allowed. Now the next issue is names of partners of the firms. It's allowed. Major clients were also displayed. Is that right? No. As per the guidelines issued with respect to website. As per the guidelines issued with respect to the website, clients' names are allowed provided you have that disclosure requirement obligation from the regulator. Here they specifically say without any disclosure obligation from regulator. So that is also a violation. So here 2 violation One is push technology as well as the disclosure of the major clients. So this is the interpretation we have made from the first paragraph of the case study. Shall we move on to the next one? CAY accepted his appointment as tax auditor of the firm under section 44AB of Income Tax Act and commenced the tax audit within 2 days of appointment, since the client was in a hurry to file the return of income tax before the due date. Okay. After commencing the audit, CAY realized the mistake of accepting the tax audit without sending any communication to the previous tax auditor. So he has accepted the tax audit without prior communication. In order to rectify the mistake, before signing the tax audit report, he sent a registered post to the previous auditor and obtained the postal acknowledgement. Now, again pausing there, coming back to the ethics, we have the clause 8, part 1, again first schedule. Accepting an appointment which was previously held by a CA, chartered accountant, without prior communication, first communicating in writing, he will be guilty. Is this communication mandatory for tax audit or is it only for statutory? This communication as per the guidelines is mandatory for statutory audit, tax audit, concurrent audit, etc. So here he started off the audit, but he communicated before signing. Is it valid? Answer is no. He should have communicated before commencing the audit, not before signing of the audit report. Okay. So again, CAY will be guilty. Moving on to the next paragraph. CAS provides management consultancy and other services to client. We call it as MCS, Management Consultancy Services, under section 2.2 of our CA Act. During 2019, looking to the growing needs of his clients to invest in the stock exchange, he also advised them on portfolio management services, whereby he managed portfolio of some of his clients. See students, as per section 2.2 of our Act, CA Act 1949, wide range of MCS, management consultancy services, are allowed. But it specifically says that portfolio management, brokering, underwriting. Portfolio management, brokering, underwriting are not allowed. Here, CAS provides portfolio management services, hence he will be guilty. So this is against the ethics. Looking at his expertise in the financial management, Mr. Tarak, a student of Chartered Accountancy course, is very much impressed with his knowledge. Okay. He approached CAS to take guidance on some topics of financial management subject related to his course. CAS, on request, decided to spare some time and started providing classes to Mr. Tarak along with some other aspirants for 3 days in a week and for 1 hour in a day. However, he did not take any specific permission for such private tutorship from the council. See, again coming back to the ethics, you have, you remember, this is clause 11, part 1. Again, it is related to first schedule. Engages in any other business or occupation other than that of a CA. In that you have two lists. One is general permission, one is specific special permission. In general permission, private tutorship are allowed. Maximum 25 hours a week. Here, there is no violation as such because hours is also within the limit, plus it's generally permitted. No need to take specific permission. So, there is no violation with respect to this particular private tutorship. Okay. Now, moving to the next para. YS an associate is appointed to conduct statutory audit of XYZ Limited. Why XYZ Limited is required to appoint internal auditor as per statutory provisions given in the Companies Act and appointed CA. IA as the internal auditor. YS associate asked Mr. IA to provide the direct assistance to him regarding the evaluating significant accounting estimates by the management and assessing the risk of material misstatement. He also asked his direct assistance in assembling the information necessary to resolve exceptions in confirmation response with respect to external confirmation request and evaluation of results of external confirmation procedures. Okay. Now, something related to internal audit, external audit. SA 610. As per SA 610, you have the external auditor as well as you have the internal auditor, right? One of the main point in SA 610 is that external auditor can seek direct assistance of who? Internal auditor, but not in two areas. Which area? Areas involving significant judgments, estimates, and second, areas having high risk of material misstatements. In these two areas, external auditor shall not seek direct assistance of internal auditor. Which two areas? Judgments and risk. Here, internal auditor's direct assistance is taken where? Accounting estimates. No, you can't. It's something related to SA 540 which should be done by the external auditor himself. Assessing the risk of material misstatement relating to SA 315. In that area also, external auditor shall not seek direct assistance of internal auditor. And the next area is in assembling the information necessary. See, it's like a routine area where you assemble the information. In that area, yes, he may seek the direct assistance. Who can seek? External auditor. Whose assistance? Internal auditor. Clear? So this particular passage is something related to SA 610 where external auditor seeking the direct assistance of internal auditor. Fine. Now, XYZ Limited is seeking advice of YS and Associates to appoint CA, IA for conducting the GST audit. Now, internal auditor to be appointed as GST auditor. Is it valid? Now again, going back to the ethics, as per ESB decision, Ethical Standard Board decision, internal auditor cannot be appointed as GST auditor because independence will be affected. So CAIA, the internal auditor, cannot be appointed as GST auditor. Here students, thus we come to the end of reading the passage. I hope you understood how to interpret the passage. Now, as said in the beginning, this passage will be followed by 5 set of MCQ, 1 mark each. So, with those interpretations in mind, shall we move on to the questions? First question. YS and Associates sought direct assistance from CAIA, the internal auditor, as stated in above scenario. Advice as to whether he is permitted to do so in accordance with relevant standards on auditing. Students, that we have already discussed, no? As per SA 610, you can't take assistance in significant accounting estimates as well as risk of material misstatement. However, assistance may be taken in assembling the information. Okay. Now coming back to that question. Reading the options. A option. YS Associates cannot ask CAIA for direct assistance regarding evaluating accounting estimates and assessing the risk of material misstatements. Correct. However, CAIA may assist YS and Associates in assembling information necessary to resolve exception. This seems to be correct, but wait, we'll read the other options also. CAIA cannot assist YS Associates in assembling the information necessary to resolve exceptions. See, assembling the information is only a routine process. Internal auditor is not going to send the external confirmation. He is just assembling some information. That is allowed. Here it says cannot. So you can strike off option B. C. YS and Associate cannot ask CAIA for direct assistance regarding evaluating significant accounting estimates and assessing the risk of material misstatement and assembling the information. See, these two were correct. But that last sentence, in assembling the information, you can seek the assistance. Here they say cannot. So C is not the option. Coming to D. YS and Associate can ask CAIA for direct assistance regarding evaluating significant accounting estimates. There itself you can strike off. He cannot ask the assistance, no? So naturally the answer is A. This particular question is relating to SA 610. Clear? Moving on to the second question. Whether CAS is guilty of professional misconduct in providing private tutorship to Mr. Tarak along with some other aspirants for 3 days in a week and for 1 hour in a day in absence of specific approval. You remember, students, in the above passage we said no, this is allowed. So he is not guilty. Even before reading the options you can conclude specific approval is not required. This is mentioned in clause 11 part 1 of which schedule? Correct? First schedule. So come on, reading on the option. CAS is not guilty of professional misconduct as he is teaching within prescribed hours. 25 hours a month. It's 25 hours a week. So this is not the option. CAS is not guilty of professional misconduct. He is teaching within the prescribed hours. Okay, again that question. This is not the particular clause and 25 hours. Again that month. No. CAS is guilty of professional misconduct. He is not guilty, no. So answer should be naturally D, but reading on. CAS is not guilty of professional misconduct. Fine. As his teaching is within prescribed hours, 25 hours a week. And regulation 190A. It's council regulation. Guideline. So answer would be D. This answer we have already discussed while we were reading the question. Okay. Third one. Before signing the tax audit report, CAY sent a registered post to the previous auditor and obtained postal acknowledgement. Will CAY be held guilty of professional misconduct under our CA Act? This also we discussed. You remember clause 8 part 1. He is guilty. Why? Communication should be first before accepting and conducting. It is not before signing the report. So naturally he is guilty. Clause, which clause? Clause 8 part 1 first schedule. Now reading the option. As per clause 8 of part 1 first schedule, CAY is not guilty. He is guilty, no? So strike off. As per clause 8 part 1 of first schedule, CAY will not be guilty. Strike off. As per clause 8 part 1 of first schedule to the CA Act, CAY will be guilty of professional misconduct since he has accepted the tax audit, see this word, without first communicating with previous auditor who's a CA in writing. Council guideline regulation says that it should be in RPAD, registered post with acknowledgement due. So C seems to be the right option, but we'll read D also. As per clause 8 part 1 second schedule, clause 8 part 1 second schedule is expressing opinion without obtaining sufficient information. It's not communicating. So because of that second schedule, it's wrong. We need not read further. So the answer would be C. Okay. Moving on to the fourth question. In view of YS and Associates, whether CAIA is eligible to undertake GST audit of XYZ Limited simultaneously. You remember when we discussed, we said no, as per ESB Ethical Standard Board decision, internal auditor cannot be appointed as GST auditor because it will affect the independence. It's like you have a substantial interest. So it's not valid. So, reading the option. CAIA is the internal auditor of XYZ Limited and therefore is eligible. No. CAIA is the internal auditor and therefore not eligible to undertake GST audit of the company simultaneously. Seems to be valid, but wait, we'll read the other option. Being internal auditor, IA is appropriate person to carry out. No. So answer is B. This is again related to ethics ESB decision. Students, there are 21 ESB decision. One of the decision is this particular one. Internal auditor not to be appointed as GST auditor. So coming to the last question. Whether website designed for www.ysassociates.com is in compliance with guidelines given in Clause 6 Part 1 First Schedule to CA Act. This was the opening paragraph, the first paragraph. You remember? Here. Here we discuss, no? Push technology is invalid. It should be on pull mode. Disclosure of the client name is also invalid. But it can have any bright attractive fonts. So going back to the question. Yes, website can have names of partners. Yeah. Major client along with the fees. Answer is no. Yes, as the website is designed on push technology. No, it should be pull. Yes, there is no restriction on colors used in the website. See, colors used is right, but they are saying it is in compliance. Colors is okay, but is it compliance? No. Major client and push technology. So website is not in compliance. Since answer is yes, strike off. So naturally the answer should be D. We'll read. No, as the names of partners of the firm and major clients were displayed without disclosure requirement from any regulator. So that particular question is relating to Clause 6, Part 1, First Schedule, Council Guidelines with respect to website. Okay. So students, with that we come to the end of that particular integrated case study question. I hope you got a rough idea how to approach this particular question. Here itself they had linked it with, ethics, tax audit, GST audit and even SA 610. Clear? So students, I have developed a video for CA final old as well as the new syllabus. This video, it is recorded video of 30 hours. 30 hours online recorded video. It is available in Logic eLearn website. In this 30 hours, students are asking like what I am going to do, or rather what I've done. What I've done is all the 18 chapter wise, each chapter I have revised. In each chapter I have solved the questions. Questions means, say for example in case of an MCQ, I won't be just telling you the right option but also discussing you why the other three options in that MCQ is not correct, so that you will get better logical understanding. And that particular video is designed in such a way that to assist or help the students who mainly have this presentation issue. I have included ample question so that along with the video, once you watch the video, you can also practice writing. I've gone that video very slow so that while I discuss the question, you can also write. For each chapter, I have included presentation techniques as well as those things to be borne in mind while writing for the exam. I've included MCQ, descriptive as well as a integrated case study. And I'm planning to do a very small session October 10th, 11th. Plan is on October 10th, 11th for CA final, both new as well as the old students. It will be live session of 3 hours each. So around 6 hours live session. The cost of the recorded video of 30 hours. The cost of the recorded video 30 hours is 1,900 plus GST, and for that live session. I said no, in October 2 days, 3 hours each. That will be 150 rupees plus GST. 150 rupees plus GST. If you want to know further details about either the recorded video or the class in the October, that 6 hours class, you can either WhatsApp me. This is my mobile number. WhatsApp me, or you can call in this particular number.